for me to wake up and turn the show on and hear the watered-down version of ECW was a slap in the face. It was very Ryback-like.
And, no, it wasn't a slap in the face at all to you or anybody.
Hold on. Did he just compare Bully Ray? Did he just compare Bully Ray to Ryback? He just compared Bully Ray to Ryback. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Corn. Welcome here to Half-Ass Pod. You already know, man. Hit that like and that subscribe, all that good stuff. So basically, I'm sitting here this morning before I go to work, listening to Busted Open like I usually do. Mark Henry calls in because Bully Ray talks about the WWE version of ECW, which he calls watered down. And yes, it was extremely watered down, no pun intended. With that being said, Mark Henry, being the sensitive person that he is, calls in and, well, I'll just play the rest here for y'all.
Dive into that. Our very own Mark Henry has called in and wants to join in on the conversation. So, Mark, what's going on? Good morning.
What's going on, guys? I'm on my way to work, and I'm sitting here. I always listen to the show when I can. And, I'm sensitive as hell. Everybody knows that I wear my heart on my sleeve. And as I'm listening to the show, I hear the words, the watered-down version of ECW, like it didn't mean nothing. And I felt disrespected because I took a lot of pride in being the ECW champion. And I wrestled the cream of the crop of the guys that came from ECW, the Tommy Dreamers, the Eddie Guerreros, the Chris Benoits. And there was a bunch of guys on that roster that couldn't hold my job.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Eddie Guerrero wrestled in that new ECW, that WWE version of ECW. I'm pretty sure Eddie Guerrero died before they even quote-unquote revived ECW. But please let me know in the comments and let me know if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure Eddie Guerrero did not wrestle in a watered-down version of ECW.
So for me to hear that it didn't matter, the ECW, to hell with what Mac Pedona, it ain't got nothing to do with him. It ain't got nothing to do with Bully. But you got to be respectful of the words that you use when it relates to people that took a lot of pride in their work. And I'm not responsible for ECW failing and the WWE acquiring it as a commodity. Same thing happened with WCW.
The fact that he said he's not responsible for ECW failing, I'm like, bruh, you're on the phone with Bully Ray. I don't think those words are the best words you could. Mark Henry, you've been on this earth for a very long time. Twice as long as I have at the least. Fam, there's no way that you do not have better vocabulary to use when you're on the radio with Bully Ray, a guy that bled for ECW back in the day. A guy that was the end-all, be-all for he, Tommy Dreamer, and Paul Heyman, and Taz. Come on, man. You got to do better, bro. You got to do better, man.
There were guys that were really good that stayed, that came over and became a part of the team, and everybody worked together. But for me to wake up and turn the show on and hear the watered-down version of ECW was a slap in the face. It was very Ryback-like. And,
no, it wasn't a slap in the face at all to you or anybody.
Hold on. Did he just compare Bully Ray? Did he just compare Bully Ray to Ryback? He just compared Bully Ray to fucking Ryback. Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
There, because if I was slapping any of you in the face, I'd slap you in the face by name. The WWE's version of ECW was a watered down mess. And if you think you're offended by what I said about ECW, I'm an ECW original. I was in the ring. I was behind the scenes. I'm a pillar of the company. If anybody can say that the WWE version of ECW was a watered down mess, it's me. I didn't say you were a watered down mess. I didn't say any talent was a watered down mess. I said that the brand was, because
facts. And I'll continue to spread this message of the fact that there's a new generation of wrestlers that get offended when you talk about brand. They want to get super duper fucking defensive, like you're attacking them as a person, like you've mentioned their fucking dog or something. You know what I mean? It's like, fam, no, we're saying that it's ECW. The WWE version of ECW was ass. If it was good, it would still be around. Period. Now, were there some cool memories? Was it fun to watch at times? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I would still rather watch Raw or SmackDown or NXT before I would even turn on ECW, the WWE watered down version.
Vince McMahon took something and he drained it of every last ounce of money he could get out of it.
Anybody that acquires a company, they're going to make the changes.
Mark ain't even listening, bro. This dude, Mark, ain't even fucking listening, bro.
That they see fit, because the company got taken over. When it comes to what was just said, I stand by what I said. Regardless of your opinion of it being watered down, I would consider myself and Kane and Big Show and other people that garnered that title being upgrades. And I was the one that was the most happy when the WWE acquired it, because I was a fan. I used to ask all the time, hey, can we do more?
This dude lying, bro. Yo, this motherfucker is lying, bro. He just said, I was the most happy when WWE acquired EC. Now you just lying out your ass, bro. Now you just straight up lying out your ass, bro. Just say, oh, I'm sorry, bully. That's what you meant. I didn't know what you meant. Rather than doubling down on some dumb shit. Do I need to say it? I ain't gonna say it. I say it all the time. You already know what I'm thinking. All right, y'all already know what I'm fucking thinking, man. I'm like, Mark fucking Henry, bro. You're better than this. You're better than this.
Can we do this? And because of the way the rules were at that time, they said no. But then once ECW became WWE or WWE at the time, then I was gassed up. But I don't consider just because it wasn't the original, because the Cowboys had great players in the 70s that couldn't play now. And they had guys that played in the 80s that were so good they can play now and get rid of some of these stiffs that we have on the team. But
it's a bad comparison, but he is right about the Cowboys thing. I mean, look, as a fellow Cowboys fan, we could use some of those guys from the 80s, man.
That being said, that's the words have a lot of power, and watered down. I'm never going to accept it. Never going to accept it.
Once again, Mark, nobody called you watered down. You were a WWE superstar. You were signed to a WWE contract.
I wish they had video. Of Bully's face, because I'm pretty sure Bully was sitting here like, once again, Mark.
Everybody else that was in ECW was either an WWE superstar or an ECW guy that came over. All major players in their own right. The product was watered down. It was Vince McMahon's vision of what he wanted ECW to be. Because in 1996, when Vince McMahon had to hear those letters chanted on his TV show, it never sat well with him. Vince McMahon is responsible for trying to kill those letters off. He made himself the ECW champion. That is a watered down version of it. You're taking
facts.
Something personally that I don't know why you are. Nobody's saying that you as champion was watered down. Nobody's saying that you as champion brought the company down. You guys did the best you can with the watered down creative version of ECW that the WWE wrote for you guys.
Well, I mentioned the new WWE version of ECW on the show yesterday because I said that, like, unfortunately, I think how it became is because by calling it ECW, fans automatically thought of a certain type of brand of wrestling, which that new version of ECW wasn't. I loved that new show of ECW, and I said it yesterday, if it wasn't called ECW. Because, you know, Sheamus came out of that new version of ECW. Kofi Kingston came out of that new version of ECW. I think it's more of like when you think...
And they're missing some key players, too, that came out of that ECW era. I mean, you're talking about CM Punk was in there. You're talking about, Big Show. You had Kane. You had Bobby Lashley, Kofi Kingston, Matt Hardy, Chavo Guerrero, of all people as well, man. John Morrison. So, I mean, you had all these guys come from that watered-down version of ECW. Again, what Bully is saying is that he's not talking about the talent. He's not even talking about the championships and the champions and the matches. He's not even talking about the matches. He's talking simply about the brand, simply about the show, simply about the decisions that were made for the production of that show.
Think of ECW
and the writing of that show.
You think of, like, again, that product out of South Philly from the ECW arena, that outlaw promotion, other than the produced version of ECW that we got later in the WWE. I don't think it has anything to do with the talent pool that was involved in that show. As I just said, you know, I watched Zack Ryder beat Tommy Dreamer in that new version of ECW. I just think that, Bully, when you say watered down, you're not talking about the talent. You're talking about, like, that image of ECW and what the foundation of that company was.
See, now y'all keep trying to get Bully to re-explain himself. He's already repeated himself twice before. Fam, he's talking about the show.
And then what it later became under the WWE. I don't think it had anything to do with the talent that was involved in ECW.
As I stated twice already, it had zero to do with the talent, because the talent that I would be burying are fellow wrestlers that I worked with on Raw or SmackDown. Wouldn't be doing that. A lot of the guys that were on ECW were there because either Vince thought it could strengthen the ECW brand, or they didn't have anything to do with these talents on Raw or SmackDown at the time. And then you had the Sandman and Balls and Axel and Dreamer and all these originals that came over. So when you think of ECW, the last thing that you think about is the WWE's version of ECW. You just don't. Facts. Because most people...
Facts. I tend, whenever you mention ECW to me, as a real wrestling fan, I think of the original ECW. My mind doesn't even cross the WWE watered down version.
Would agree that version was watered down and written in the eyes of somebody who never truly understood the product.
Okay. Mark, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm reading emails.
What the fuck?
I understand what's
what
being
is wrong
said,
with this dude,
and
man?
It's a question of the choice of words and agreeing to disagree. But I had a lot of respect for the brand. I would never talk about it, whether it was the way that other people talked about ECW as a brand. And once it was acquired and became a part of my family, I welcomed it in and treated it like my own, which is the way we all should be doing.
All right. Well, Mark, I mean, thanks for...
So now Mark Henry wants to be the flag bearer for ECW, for the brand of ECW. Now he wants to carry this torch all of a sudden for ECW and has all of a sudden. Look, I'm not saying you can't have pride for the time you spent at a company and working on a brand. I get it. Anybody who's ever played a team sport should understand where Mark Henry's coming from. I get it. But what he's not understanding is what Bully Ray is actually saying, and now he's acting all butthurt off of something that he still doesn't quite understand what Bully is saying. which I don't know how you can't understand what he's saying, because he's making it clear as day. 2 + 2 = 4. But anyways, man, make sure you guys hit that like and that subscribe, man. What do you guys think about Mark Henry and Bully Ray and this whole thing, man? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that blue notification bell thingy. It's your boy Corn. It's Half-Ass Pod, and I am OUT.